What's up, guys? So, what we're gonna do today is go over what was spoiled a while back in the Fallen of Albaz structure deck. So, we get this middle of March, I believe. And the support's not bad. So, first up, we have, well, I guess if you look on the cover, we have Ice Jade, Ice Jade fusion on it, and it looks to be Brigade, but it's probably a Sword Soul, so we'll see what that comes to. But first up, we have Brigade Mercuria. Dark Force level 4. You can use its first effect and second only once per turn. When your opponent activates a monster, if you control a fusion material that lists Fallen of Albaz, quick effect, send this card from hand or field to the grave to negate it. And if this card becomes banished, you can add one Fallen of Albaz, or one monster that specifically listed in its text from deck to hand, except the bird. So first off, the negation effect in hand isn't bad if we have ways of using albaz, like we get ways of using albaz as a fusion easier than using him as a super poly, because if not, we have to use theater, which isn't the best. But as a hand trap, it's not bad. And then if it's banished, you can add. So it's a target that you can play using Allure. So you can allure him to add anything that lists Albaz in its texts. So I can see the bird being played just like you play Tragedy. I don't think you'd play it at 3... maybe 2 at the most. He's definitely good, depending on the rest of the support that comes in it. Next up, we have Spriggans Kit. 4-star Beast Dark, 1700. You can use the first and second once per turn. If you have a fusion that lists Fallen of Albaz as material on your field or in your grave, you can special summon this card from hand. If this card is normal or special, you can add one branded spell or trap that is banished or in your deck or grave. Add it to hand, then place one card from the bottom of the deck, or one card on your hand at the bottom of the deck. So this, right off the bat, is by far what Despia and the whole archetype has needed. It's a second Jester, Allure. Not only can you add it from deck or graveyard, but you can also get it from banished. So you gotta put one on the bottom, sure. Sometimes you need to put your bricks in the bottom. But the first part is being able to special it by having a Fallen of Albaz fusion on the field or grave. Makes getting to this so easy. Like, if turn 1 you go Nadir Servant, send any of them, you now have Kit live, which is huge. Now, she doesn't share the name of either Despia or anything, but what she does is she's so much utility. And the fact is she lists... Oh no, she doesn't list Fallen of Albaz. Wait, Yeah, so this lists Fallen of Albaz. So you can search Kit off Mercuria. So yeah, Kit is a definitely 3 of. Like, you do no reason not to play 3 Kit. Like, sometimes you open up Albaz, or you don't open Albaz and you need to get to a spell. Now we have 6 ways of getting to it. And it's a way to special. So we can do extra plays. Next up we have Unlikely Sword Soul Allies. He's a light spellcaster tuner. Level 4, 1800 and 1500. You can only use this card's second effect, this card's name, once per turn. So is number 1, when a monster declares an attack, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you do, negate the attack. Then if you control a fusion monster that lists Fallen of Albaz as material, you can destroy the attacking monster. 2, if a monster becomes banished face up, you can banish this card from your field or graveyard, special summon one light spellcaster monster whose attack equals its own defense from your hand or graveyard. So, I don't necessarily like this card. He's a light, so it allows us to kind of make Albion with Theater. Destroys the attacking monster. Most time your opponent's clearing your board without attacking, so that's kind of useless. The second effect, you need this on the field. Or I guess in graveyards, which is fine, but you still need to get it to grave. And all it's going to do is special summon Ecclesia, the Virtuous of White. I don't necessarily like this. I don't know if we'd play it. It depends on the rest of the support we get for it. It's mediocre at best. The fact that it's a tuner doesn't mean a whole lot. Unless somehow one of the guys we get are a synchro. So we'll see. Next up we have Paradise Branded. Continuous spell. You can only activate the second effect of this card once per turn. The activation of your cards and effects that include effect that fusion summons a fusion monster cannot be negated. Also, your opponent's cards and effects cannot activate when a monster is fusion summoned this way. If you fusion summon a fusion monster, you can add one Fallen of Albaz or one monster listed in its text from deck to hand. This card is literally what Albaz is needed. It's actually what the whole archetype is needed. It's a magical meltdown that we can search. Makes it so Albaz can't be negated, which is the one downside to him right now, is his discard is cost. So with this, they can't negate him. And then, or any of the other ones. And then when you do fusion summon, you add Albaz or any of these, which is so big. It's so good. I would definitely play this. It's not a field spell, but it's a continuous. So I definitely play this at, I'd say at least 2. Because you always want to have this. So I definitely want it at 2. Because we will run 3 Jester, 3 Kit, and we have ways of getting 2 Kit, and so like it just adds to it. This is very easy to get to, so far, yeah, it's so good to have. Here's like the reprints we get. So you get Albion, Sprint, Brigade, Titanclad, or we might. This is all in Japan's. So what I think of this so far, Tri-Brigade Burb, insane. Like, it's not bad. Depends on the rest of the fusions. Because right now we never make a Fallen of Albaz fusion turn 1. So this isn't bad in like a going second type deck. The banished effect is good because it works with a lure. Kit, literally what the deck is needed, an extra starter. That is also an extender. Yeah. And it adds bricks to your hand. Like, say you open 3 of your tragedies and you want to be able to get to them later. Or not even tragedy. Say you open, what's like a brick? Say you open like 3 Aluber and Kit. Putting your Aluber to the bottom because you don't want all 3 in hand because you want to have search targets for tragedy later on. is so huge. And the fact that Kit can recycle your branded and reds, your openings, as well with tragedy. So it's another way of reusing what your spells. Sword Soul, unlikely Sword Soul allies. I don't see it played. Maybe as a one of. But besides that, no, I don't like it. And then Paradise Branded, 2 of, 100%. You can play it at 1 of because you can recycle it. But you want this, like, right now people see theater and they blow up the theater. So now if you have theater and branded Paradise, they have to really choose of which one they want to get rid of. So it makes choices for them harder. But there is also one more card. It is 1 second. Branded Servants. So this isn't in the structure deck. This is in Battle of Chaos. So this is a spell we get. If you control a level 8 or higher Fiend Fusion monster, when your opponent activates a monster effect with 0 attack, 0 defense, you can negate it. At the end of damage step, if 2 monsters with 0 attack battled, you can destroy the opponents. So the reason why this is so good is Queritus puts stuff to 0. So if you make Queritus and you have this, you have a negate. So this kind of allows you to play the Sword Soul Iris, which in turn can get you other advantage. Like this I maybe see as like a 1 of, nothing more. I like the card because Sword Soul Iris is good. We just have no way to actually negate onboard monster effects at the moment. So with this we are able to. But yeah, so that is it for all the upcoming support. I have a new deck list coming out soon for the list I will be playing locally. I have made some changes from the last video of cards that I've recently seen and what I like. There will be my link to Card Brawlers to get you guys 5% off of your orders and giving back to me. If you like the video so far, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys.